Hello everyone. Myself Mr. S.M. Ganwat, working as Assistant Professor in Mechanical Department at Sharad Institute of Technology College of Engineering, Yadrao, Ichalkaranji. In this session, we are going to discuss the syllabus of Material Science and Metallurgy. Before discussing the syllabus of Material Science and Metallurgy, what we are going to do, we are going to summarize the previous sessions, that what we have discussed in the previous sessions. We'll start with the Material Science and Engineering. There are six different property classifications of materials that determine their applicability: mechanical, electrical, thermal, magnetic, optical, and deteriorative. One aspect of material science is the investigation of relationships that exist between the structure and properties of materials. By structure, we mean how some internal components of the materials are arranged. In terms of dimensionality, structural elements include subatomic, atomic, microscopic, and macroscopic. With regard to the design, production, and utilization of material, there are four elements to consider. First is processing, second is structure, third is properties, and fourth is performance. The performance of a material depends on its properties, which in turn are a function of its structure. Furthermore, structure is determined by how the material was processed. Three important criteria in material selection are in service conditions to which the material will be subjected, any deterioration of material properties during operation, and third, economics or cost of the fabricated piece. This particular session is associated with the material science and engineering that we have already discussed. Now we will move further with the next summary, that is classification of materials. On the basis of chemistry and atomic structure, materials are classified into three general categories. First is metals, metallic elements. Second is ceramics, compound between metallic and non-metallic elements. And third one is polymers, compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen, and other non-metallic elements. In addition, composites are composed of at least two different material types. Also, we have discussed advanced materials. In advanced materials, it is another material category, that is advanced materials that are used in high-tech applications. These include semiconductors having electrical conductivities intermediate between conductors and insulators, biomaterials which must be compatible with body tissues, smart materials, those that sense and respond to changes in their environment in predetermined manner, and nanomaterials, those that have structural features on the order of nanometer, some of which may be designed on the atomic or molecular level. This 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 summary is associated with the introduction to material science and metallurgy. Now we are going to take an overview of atomic structure and interatomic bonding, in which we have already discussed electrons in atoms. The two atomic models are Bohr and wave mechanical, whereas the Bohr model assumes electrons to be particles orbiting the nucleus in discrete path. In wave mechanics, we consider them to be wave-like and treat electron position in terms of probability distribution. The energies of electrons are quantized, that is, only specific values of energy are allowed. The four electron quantum numbers are small n, small l, ml, and ms. Each of these specifies a distinct electron characteristics. According to the Pauli exclusion principle, each electron state can accommodate no more than two electrons, which must have opposite spins. Now, Also, we have discussed the periodic table. Elements in each of the column or groups of the periodic table have distinctive electron configuration. For example, group 0 elements, the inert gases, have filled electron shells, and group first A elements, the alkali metals, have one electron greater than a filled electron shell. Also, we have discussed bonding forces and energies. Bonding forces and bonding energies are related to one another. Also, we have discussed attractive repulsive net energies for two atoms or ions, which depends on interatomic separation as per discussion. Also, we have discussed interatomic separation versus force or two atoms. The equilibrium separation corresponds to the value at zero force. Also, we have discussed primary interatomic bonds. For ionic bonds, electrically charged ions are formed by the transference of valence electrons from one atom type to another. This type of bonding is found in ceramic materials. There is a sharing of valence electrons between adjacent atoms when bonding is covalent. Polymers and some ceramic metals covalently bond. The percentage the percent ionic character of a bond between two elements depends on their electronegativities according to the equation that we have discussed. With metallic bonding, the valence electrons forms a sea of electrons that is uniformly dispersed around the metal ion cores and acts as a form of glue for them. Metallic material exhibit this type of bonding. Also, we have discussed secondary bonding or van der Waals bonding, in which relatively weak van der Waals bond result from attractive forces between electric dipoles, which may induced or permanent. For hydrogen bonding, highly polar molecules form when hydrogen covalently bonds to a non-metallic element such as fluorine. This much introductory part we have already discussed with this particular content or with this particular subject. Now we are going to start with the actual syllabus content in this session. In this session, we are going to discuss what is the units of material science and metallurgy that we are going to discuss. Also, we are going to discuss each unit under different points. As we are affiliated to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, we are going to follow the syllabus given by the university. Now, we are going to start with our subject. The course code of our subject is BTMEC 302 ESC 11. ESC stands for Engineering Science Course, and the teaching scheme for our subject is we have got 3 lectures or 3 hours per week. We have 1 hour for tutorial per week. Also, we are going to discuss the examination scheme. In examination scheme, we have got continuous assessment, which is for 20 marks. We have got mid semester exam, which will be conducted for 20 marks. Also, the university is going to conduct end sem end semester examination, which is for 60 marks. Total credit for this particular subject is 4. Now we are going to discuss the course outcomes. At the end of this particular course, students are able to understand these different course outcomes. CO means course outcomes. We have got total 6 number of units. Each unit consists of a particular CO. After studying that particular unit, it is possible to attain that particular course outcome at the end of every unit. The CO number 1 is associated with unit number 1. The CO number 1 is study various crystal structures of materials. This CO is associated with our unit number 1, which is structure of materials. After studying the unit number 1, the students will be able to study different crystal structures of different materials at the end of unit number 1, and that is achieved at the end of unit number 1. Now we are going to discuss CO number 2. The course outcome of unit number 2 is understand mechanical properties of material and calculation of same using appropriate equation. Our unit number 2 is associated with mechanical properties and their testing. After studying this unit number 2, the students are able to understand what are the different mechanical properties of material and what type of calculations are required, and by using those calculations it is possible to understand the different material properties, also their testing. Now we are going to move further with the next CO, that is CO number 3, which is associated with again unit number 3, which is equilibrium diagram. In CO number 3, what we are going to attain is we are going to evaluate phase diagrams of various materials. At the end of unit number 3, students are able to evaluate phase diagrams of various materials. This is the outcome of unit number 3. Now we will proceed further with the next CO, that is CO number 4. The CO number 4 is suggest appropriate heat treatment process for given application. Our unit number 4 is associated with the heat treatment processes. After completing this particular heat treatment process, student can suggest appropriate heat treatment process for given application. This is the outcome of unit number 4, heat treatment. Now we will move further with the next CO. The next CO is associated with unit number 5, that is CO number 5. Prepare samples of different materials for metallography. This is our CO number 5, which is associated with unit number 5, and the name of unit number 5 is metallography. At the end of this particular unit, the students will be able to prepare samples of different materials for metallography. It is straightforward. And the last CO is associated with unit number 6, that is strengthening mechanism and non-destructive testing. After completion of unit number 6, students can recommend appropriate NDT technique for given application after studying unit number 6. This information is all about the course outcome of this particular course, and the course name is Material Science and Metallurgy. Now we are going to discuss the actual course content of Material Science and Metallurgy. We have got total 6 units under Material Science and Metallurgy that we are going to discuss. All units carry 10 marks each for end semester examination, which is conducted for 60 marks. Each unit is going to carry 10 marks weightage for end semester examination, and based on these units you have asked the questions for 10 marks, and based on that you are supposed to solve the given questions. Now we are going to discuss the course content. Unit number 1 is associated with structure of materials, under which we are going to discuss the different points as crystal structures, indexing of lattice planes, indexing of lattice directions, imperfections in crystals, that is point defect, line defect, surface and bulk defect. Also we are going to discuss mechanism of plastic deformation, deformation of single crystal by slip, plastic deformation of polycrystalline materials. All these points we are going to cover under structure of material, which is our unit number 1. And after completion of unit number 1, you are able to study various crystal structures of materials. This is the outcome of unit number 1. Now we are going to discuss unit number 2. The name of unit number 2 is mechanical properties and their testing. Under this unit, what we are going to cover is we are going to cover tensile test, engineering stress strain curve, true stress strain curve, types of stress strain curves, compression test, bend test, torsion test, formability, hardness testing, different hardness test, Vickers, Rockwell, Brinell, impact, fatigue test, creep test. All these things we are going to cover under our unit number 2. After completion of unit number 2, the students are able to understand mechanical properties of materials and calculation of same using appropriate equation. This is our outcome of unit number 2. Now we will move further with our unit number 3. The unit number 3 is associated with the equilibrium diagrams. In unit number 3, the points that we are going to cover are definitions of terms, rules of solid solubility, Gibbs phase rule, solidification of a pure metal, plotting of equilibrium diagrams, lever rule, iron carbide equilibrium diagram, critical temperatures, solidification and microstructure of slowly cooled steels, non-equilibrium cooling of steels, property variation with microstructures, classification and application of steel, specification of steels, transformation products of austenite, TTT diagram, critical cooling rate, CCT diagram. After studying this particular equilibrium diagram unit, the students will be able to evaluate phase diagrams of various materials. This is our outcome of this particular unit. Now we are going to discuss now we are going to discuss the unit number 4, which is associated with the heat treatment. Under this unit, we are going to cover the different points that are heat treatment of steels, cooling media, annealing processes, normalizing, hardening, tempering, quenching, and hardenability, surface hardening processes, nitriding, carbonitriding, flame hardening, induction hardening. After completion of unit number 4, that is heat treatment, the students can suggest appropriate heat treatment process for a given application. This is the outcome of unit number 4 associated with heat treatment. The next unit that we are going to discuss is metallography. Under the metallography unit, the points that we are going to discuss are microscopy, specimen preparation, polishing abrasives and cloths, specimen mounting, electrolytic polishing, etching procedure and reagents, electrolytic etching, optical metallurgical microscope, microscopy, sulfur printing, flow line observations, examination of fractures, spark test, electron microscope. Basically, after studying metallography, the students are basically able to understand or able to prepare the samples of different materials for metallography. This is very useful for students to study and to prepare samples of different materials for metallography. And this is our outcome of this particular unit, that is to prepare samples of different materials for metallography. Now we are going to discuss unit number 6, which is associated with strengthening mechanism and non-destructive testing. Under this We are going to discuss different points such as a refinement of grain size, cold working, strain hardening, solid solution strengthening, dispersion strengthening, precipitation hardening, magnetic particle inspection, dye penetrant inspection, ultrasonic inspection, radiography, eddy current testing, acoustic emission inspection. After studying unit number 6, that is strengthening mechanisms and non-destructive testing, the students are able to recommend appropriate NDT technique for given application, because in different applications it is possible to carry out different testings, and after completion of this particular testing you can go for recommending a particular technique, and based on that you can prefer that particular technique for given application. After studying unit number 6, the student can recommend appropriate NDT technique for given application. This is all about the course content of material science and metallurgy that we are going to discuss. We proceed further with the next part, that is the references. The text that we are going to utilize for this particular subject, material science and metallurgy, are: the first text that is useful is Material Science and Metallurgy for Engineers by V.D. Kodgire, S.V. Kodgire. The second text, that is Material Science and Engineering, an Introduction by W.D. Callister. The third text, Material Science Engineering by V. Raghavan. The next one is Introduction to Physical Metallurgy by S.H. Avenir. And the last one is Engineering Metallurgy by R.A. Higgins. You can refer all these texts for this particular subject, that is Material Science and Metallurgy, for your further reading. You can also refer Introduction to Engineering Materials by V.B. John. Also, you can go for reference Material Science and Engineering by G.F. Carter, D. Paul. Also, you can refer Physical Metallurgy Principles by T.E. Reed Hill, and you can utilize these books as reference books for this particular subject, that is Material Science and Metallurgy. Thank you very much.